Instead of trying to change the content of our thoughts with cognitive restructuring, we can try to change how we relate to and interact with our thoughts. Thoughts are popping in and out of our heads all of the time, and most of our thoughts aren't that important, and we're often not even aware that we're having them. But when a thought has an emotional pull to it, we tend to take notice, especially if it reinforces how we're already feeling. So when we're depressed and have a negative thought, it grabs our attention. But there's usually nothing special about that thought. We tend to play the same loop of thoughts over and over again in our heads. And so this negative thought that just popped into our heads probably isn't telling us anything interesting. It doesn't offer us any new information, and so we don't need to pay attention to it. And this is what being mindful is about. As best we can, we keep our minds focused in the present. We're aware of what we're thinking, and when thoughts arise that aren't related to what we're doing in the present moment, we don't try to reframe them, or change them, or think about them, or do anything with them. We simply notice we're having that thought, and let it go, and refocus our attention back to the present. So for example, if we're cooking dinner and taste the food and think, this is a little bland, that's a thought relevant to what we're doing, and we probably want to pay attention to that thought and act on it. But if we're cooking dinner and have the thought, I hate my life, or I always let everyone down, there's really no value in giving that thought our attention while we're making dinner. We can just acknowledge it and then let it go. So while we can't control what thoughts we have, and we can't stop certain thoughts from popping into our heads, when we have a thought, we do have some control over what we do with that thought. Letting go of thoughts is a skill that takes practice, but it's one of the best things that we can do to take away the power that our negative thoughts have over us. When we learn to just watch our negative thoughts and let them come and go without reacting to them, allow them to pass through our minds like clouds passing through the sky, we don't get caught up in this negativity. We don't get stuck in our heads with our minds racing, and we avoid getting sucked into vicious cycles. And as a result, our moods start to improve. Depression can start to lift, and we become less likely to get depressed in the first place.